welcome back to Ghoster Coasters, everyone, and we know it's been a while, but there hasn't been much to discuss regarding Top Thrill 2, but we do have a date for some new info and other happenings around the park, so we'll go over that today. If you haven't already, be sure to hit that subscribe button and join the spooky community today. A huge shout out goes out to the Coaster Ghosts and producers of the channel. You are the best coaster community out there, and we can't thank you guys all enough. Now, on to some Top Thrill 2 stuff.
Having closed on May 11th and receiving official extended closure announcement the following day on May 12th, followed by a similar update on June 4th, we haven't heard much. Coaster Mania came and went July 4th, and a good portion of the summer is flying by at this point, and no races for the sky. The marquee attraction being down was not in the cards for Cedar Point, and waiting for them to give word on reopening has taken some time with the obvious issues with the ride. Remember guys, Cedar Point is the only source of information, so anything you see online out there likely isn't true. Wait for the park to say something, please. We initially figured this thing would be down for a few weeks tops. July 4th at the latest, right? But something's going on with those trains that's taking some time to figure out and manufacture the fix. We all figured wheel assemblies, and some comments have made things interesting, with one person saying the park was waiting for the new fix and that it had to be one solid piece, not a welded piece for the new wheel assembly. We thought that was interesting, as time seems to be standing still with the ride, and that would make some sense waiting for the parts, the new pieces, whatever it may be.
So I reached back out to a good friend of the channel, Ryan the Ride Mechanic, and asked about that, and he said if it were to be believed, then we'd have to wait and see how long it takes to get the parts. The steel and where it's coming from could also be a factor. Now everyone go follow Ryan the Ride Mechanic. He's an awesome creator and he's incredibly knowledgeable on everything coasters, and he gets the mechanical stuff way more than us and most. Good person to subscribe to, get some laughs, and learn about coasters over there. Now, the exciting thing about all of this, Iaapa will be hosted by Cedar Point, and we get a few things in there. Sneak peeks and discussions about Halloweekends, along with an in-depth mechanical engineering breakdown and latest update about Top Thrill 2, which, should excite all of us. We'll know more soon, but the big question here is what kind of update will this be? Will Top Thrill 2 reopen this season, or will they take time explaining why a new modification would shut the ride down for the season? We still believe the ride will reopen sometime this year, but as the days turn to months, and we keep creeping closer towards 3 months closed by the day Iaapa is here, it's getting a little clouded, we must say. Something had to be a little more wrong than initially anticipated, and of course, shipping among other manufacturing delays can create months of downtime rather easily, and it's not even on Cedar Point at that point. They may very well just be waiting for these parts. Let's hope it's just that, and we get more rides on Top Thrill 2 this season.
No visible work has been seen for some time in the infield. We've seen both Adina and American testing services on site throughout the last few months, and we're all kind of wondering why the work has stopped. Though we assume they got the data they were testing for, and everything's being worked on now by Zamperla and Cedar Point teams as far as parts and all that. But the back of the silver train still has some seats exposed where you can see the wiring, and that has us curious too. Let us know what you think about that, as the other trains seem to be covered up at this point.
With the extended closure, we're getting into late summer. Halloweekends territory is creeping up, and this is all fun for talk now, guys, but do we think Cedar Point would launch Top Thrill 2 if it's closed all summer for Halloweekends? Certainly. If the ride can reopen this year, I definitely see it happening, whether that's Halloweekends or not. And can you imagine Top Thrill 2 eerily taking over the peninsula for Halloweekends, launching up the spike with tons of fog machines around? I mean, we're definitely hoping it reopens before then, but what a frighteningly good scare some Top Thrill 2 After Dark would be.
We also can't help but feel like Zamperla may have some work to do in the future. But with the opening of Thunderbolt, hopefully their coaster division shakes the rocky start and figures out the issues going forward. Those lightning trains seem to be some of the easiest to work on in the industry. So if it is just wheel assemblies, then hey, these trains should be all set and the future looks bright still. But if something deeper is underlying with these trains, we may have to start asking the questions. We were Team Intamin, and we hear all of you. But hey, give Zamperla some time. If this thing runs good next season and beyond, then we can say they fixed the bigger issue. And for now, we can just question how this happened so soon and why, and we can also be a little leery on Zamperla. We trust Cedar Point. They have shown time and time again how amazing the rides they create can be.
How are you guys feeling all 2 months later about this closure? Curious if it's going to be opening this season? Anxious for the Iaapa announcement? Or really just ready to get back on this ride again? It was an incredible experience, so we're hoping all you coaster ghosters out there get a chance to ride it soon. And hey, if you haven't already, Be sure to hit that subscribe button as we all count down for the Race for the Sky on Top Thrill 2 again. Smash that like button, it greatly helps the channel, guys, and a huge shout out goes out to all of our coaster ghosts and producers and members of the channel, especially CP Coaster Lover, everybody out there. Just say thank you, Scott, down in the comments below. Great dude, just do it right now. We're so grateful for the best coaster community out there, and it's friends like all of you guys that make this possible.
As always, thank you for being a part of our spooky community and for coaster ghosting with Ghoster Coasters.
Have a spooky day, everybody.
And an eerie good night. We love you, Scott!